Good morning, Total Control Headline News. All right, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about Juggernaut Walmart cutting ties with thousands of disabled employees. We're going to be talking about YouTube demonetizing thousands of content creators of ad revenue, and we're going to be covering President Trump's North Korea summit. But we're going to start off with our lead story, Walmart. I have completely lost count of how many times I've been called a lazy bum, nothing wrong with you, go back to work, grifter, all sorts of things, all from armchair quarterbacks who think they are uniquely qualified to tell me how I am to helm my life. Um, what I saw in this report. Let's do a little reading. Fox 29. I will link this down below. Let's see. What do we got here? As Walmart moves to phase out its familiar blue-vested greeters at some thousand stores nationwide, disabled workers who fill many of those jobs say they are being ill-treated by a chain that styles itself as community minded and inclusive. Sounds a little familiar. Remember when I went to get my kerosene fuel replaced with a defective heater? By the way, the fuel cap on the heater, don't ask me how or where, but the rubber gasket is what just mysteriously went missing. It wasn't like that always. I honestly have no idea what happened to it. It just somehow popped itself off and I not noticed. I couldn't help but wonder if it popped itself inside the tank. Anyway, so that's why I was and anyway, we saw how our worker claims to be so community minded. Walmart told greeters around the country last week that their positions would be eliminated on April 26 in favor of an expanded, more physically demanding customer host role. To qualify, they will need to be able to lift 25 pounds, climb ladders, and stand for long periods. Now, a lot of that I cannot do. I could lift something 25 pounds, I just couldn't do it repeatedly. Um, it's why, see, no, we're going to read a little bit more and then I'll talk some more here. That came as a heavy blow to the greeter with cerebral palsy, spina bifida, and other physical disabilities. For them, a job at Walmart has provided needed income, served as a source of pride, and offered connection to the community. Now, Walmart, America's largest private employer, is facing backlash as customers rally around some of the chain's most visible and beloved employees. Walmart says it is striving to place the greeters in other jobs at the company, but workers with disabilities are worried. Donnie Fagnano, 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 I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, 56, who has worked at Walmart for more than 21 years. I could so segue into the CNN Money report about reciprocity, about how it's no longer a thing, about how It doesn't make a difference if you how long you've worked at these jobs these days. There is no reciprocity. They just don't give a shit how long you've worked there. You are seen as an interchangeable cog. And right now, it's very clear from this report that Walmart is looking to upgrade, much like your phone. You know, they're treating people like smartphones. If you're done with the old, out they go and upgrade. Let's read a little bit more here. Donnie Fagnio, 56, who has worked at Walmart for more than 21 years, said he cried when a manager at the store in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, called him into the office last week and told him his job was going away. "I like working," he said. "I do too. It's better than sitting at home. I can identify." Fagnio, who has spina bifida, said he was offered a severance package. He hopes to stay at Walmart and clean bathrooms instead. Teresa Sowers, S-O-U-R-S, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Teresa Sowers, an 81-year-old greeter with heart failure, said she desperately needs to work, excuse me, let's start that again. Teresa Sowers, an 81-year-old greeter with heart failure, said she desperately needs her Walmart job to help pay for her medicine and mortgage. 81 years old and you are still paying them. Did I not say it? Mortgage. Morta. You pay the shit until you just fucking die. You know, I had a troll sit there and make wild claims that Camp Evergreen costs like $5,000 or $6,000. Complete bullshit. From top tarp down to bottom base, with all the stuff inside of it, it probably came to about maybe $1,100. Interesting total amount, if you ask me. So what it cost me to bring all this to life with the help of invisible people. Thanks for the tent. With the help of invisible people, it all totals about $1,100. So the same amount of money, roughly, that you hand over in either rent or mortgage every last single month. For that one check, I get to live a sustained existence. Let's get back to my read here. 81 years old, needs help paying the mortgage. Sowers of Stuart, Florida, who's worked for the chain for more than 18 years, another long-timer, and they don't care, said her manager told her they had no other openings suited for her ability. "I never thought they would do this. I feel like I'm thrown to the wolves," Sowers said. Her sister-in-law, Cecilia Appleby, was even more blunt. They've done her wrong. They've done her absolutely wrong. They just don't like the handicapped. This goes on a bit more. Let's see. I think maybe down here toward the end, because I'm reading this in part. Like I said, I will be linking this. Excuse me. In Vancouver, Washington, John Combs, 42, who has cerebral palsy, was devastated and then angered by his impending job loss. It had taken his family 5 years to find him a job he could do, and he loved the work coming up with nicknames for his coworkers. I wouldn't have appreciated that, but I am going to do. Oh, excuse me. Try this again. I really didn't want to do today's episode, but I'm forcing myself to get out of my head. What am I going to do? Just sit here on my butt all day in this house? That's all I'm going to do, Combs asked his sister and guardian, Rachel Wasser. "I do my job. I didn't do anything wrong." Wasser urged the retailer to give these people a fair shake. "If you want to make your actions match your words, do it. Don't be a wolf in sheep's clothing." Let's see, is there anything else here that I wanted to read? last week, Walmart told greeters they would have the customary 60 days to land other jobs at the company. Amid the uproar, the company has extended the deadline indefinitely for greeters with disabilities. Sounds more like they're going to try and do like an attrition thing, but nevertheless, the impending ending is coming. Uh, we recognize our associates with physical disabilities face unique situation, Walmart spokesman Justin Rushing said in a statement. The, the extra time, he said, will give Walmart a chance to explore how to accommodate such employees. Scrolling down some more. Jay Melton, 40, who has worked as a greeter in Marion, North Carolina for nearly 17 years, loves church, Tar Heel basketball, and Walmart. His sister-in-law, Jamie Melton, said the job is what gets him out of bed. He doesn't have a lot of things. He does himself. He doesn't have a lot of things he does himself that bring him joy, she said. Addressing Walmart, Melton added, when you cut a huge population of people out, you have written a policy that declares they are no longer capable of doing what they have been doing. That is discrimination. Like I said, I'll link that down below. To talk about my own particular circumstance, let's see here. Hold on just a second. Time's getting short. I got to move along here. We got the Black Rider, original Black Rider. This is the GT frame. And as you can see, I was employed at the Atlantic City Electric Company as a contract security guard. Gainfully employed until what was basically the final nail in my coffin. Some pretty bad bruising, right? Like I said, the foot was rotated. For perspective, 180 degrees, like toes back here. It was bad, real bad. Bimolar ankle fracture with internal fixation. All right. This is our x-ray. I really don't know how to explain it to you. Excuse me. Yeah. When I was a child and I heard about how horses were put down after they had broken their legs, I didn't understand. I thought the owners were just being greedy because the horse couldn't race and win anymore. And that might have had something to do with it too, but basically, I now understand. Yes, I can stand up. Yes, I can walk. The longer I do it, it becomes excruciating. Basically, the horse is in excruciating pain, and I have come to understand that through my own experience. Standing on my feet, I used to, oh my God, I used to put in the hours. Tell you what, hold on. See if I can capture this thing before it goes out of focus again. What you're looking at is my entire pay history for my last employer. That would be Admiral Security. We get paid bi-weekly, so the totals you're looking at are for every 2 weeks. When we look at some of our biggest totals, is this thing going out of focus again? Like up here, we see the date. That would be Superstorm Sandy. And we see what I take home. You know, left side is gross, right side is net. For these small amounts, like at 124, that's when the job screwed up and didn't pay me all my money. They don't cut you a check right there. They just simply make you wait until next pay period. They honestly don't care if you are delinquent on your end for paying bills. They don't care about that. I was a very hard working. This job paid $10.50, in case you're wondering. So you can do the math. So these are bi-weekly checks. These are bi-weekly checks. And we see our small amounts. They got more and more habitual. What happened was Admiral Security, there, because, you know, as my employment went on, like, you know, and, you know, as the longer I worked for them, what happened was, this is like the entire pay history. What happened was is that their business started booming. Admiral Security started booming, and rather than retain a payroll accounting firm, they kept basically making their little mom and pop person, whomever it was, do the payroll as their contract started growing and growing and growing. And this person who was doing payroll could not keep up, and they started making mistakes, and a lot of us employees weren't paid correctly. And that's what they do. You're seen as low wage, low skill, low everything. They think of you in low terms, as we read in our Walmart article. And what are you going to do about it? Just sit there, wait. We'll get around to paying you when we do. I hope to God I'm able to get to the rest of my topics, because it's getting long, I know. But that's basically what it is. Because I hear people say, you can go back to work, you can make your 10,000. That's the amount, 10,000, and keep your benefits. These are people who advocate this. These are people who have read headlines. Just a second. Jet going over. These are people who maybe have just, you know, glanced at an article real quickly. Or I, on the other hand, because this is my life, okay, I can't fuck this up. I delved into it extremely deeply. There are time clocks, so to speak. You get to keep these your benefit and your paycheck for 5 years, and it's cumulative. So if you work for 1 year while collecting your Social Security benefits, and then your employer decides to let you go, 2 years go by and you end up getting another job, it's all cumulative. So if you end up accumulating, like over the next 10 or 12 years, a 5-year work history, you're going to be cut from your benefits. There's a whole lot more to it, but my time is short. I've looked into it very deeply. Also, it's not down to a huge panel of people. It just comes down to one caseworker. If this caseworker, they didn't say anything at all about them being a medical professional whatsoever. If they think in their mind, you can go back to work, then they'll cut you, and you're going to be screwed. I'm saying all this to try and communicate to you. When I got my Social Security disability in 2015, you know, so what is that, like, 4 years ago now? And had I have gone to work, well, number one, the 5-year limit would be fast approaching, very fast approaching. But more to the point, had I have gotten employed at a place like Walmart, this would have been extremely, oh my God, talk about your perfect storm recipe for disaster. Your time limit's running out, and you've got an employer that doesn't give a shit about you. They're moving in other directions. The article talks about competing with Amazon because they want to take their company in a whole different direction. They don't have any problem whatsoever cutting ties with you. When you start talking about need for accommodation, because I know a lot of you guys, you also watch a lot of TV, a lot of police procedural dramas, your Law and Orders, your SVU, your CSI, and all this stuff that you watch on TV. And what you don't seem to understand is that that isn't the way it works in real life. There are no pro bono attorneys that always seem to be lying around ready to take up the next case. You know, lawyers are very lazy people. You have to have like a slam dunk where like 98% of it's already done, and all they have to do is walk in and do like the last 2 or 3% and then expect to take a fucking third. But anyway, if there's a lot of hard work, research, grueling work, these attorneys, they walk away from it. They really don't want to waste their time with it. I'm trying to communicate to you that it's very dangerous. What you would advocate, go back to work, take your chances, roll the dice. Hopefully the employer will be there to find something for you, and that just simply isn't always the case. Now you're unemployed and unemployable, okay? And here I am, a black man. You know, I was telling somebody, I don't have any gray hair. You know, I can write down my age, I can show them my age, but when they look at me, they're just gonna see a 6'3", no gray hair. Well, hell, boy, you're a big old strong thing. They look upon us as beasts of burden. Okay, that's how they look upon us. These were people with walkers and wheelchairs and cerebral palsies and, you know, some fucked up shit. If they're willing to fire them, injuries and disabilities like mine that aren't as visible, just fucking hang it up. You're playing with fire, surrendering your Social Security benefits, and which takes me to my final point on this topic. Disability, it's not like unemployment where you can waltz on and waltz off of it. Disability is extremely difficult to get. I had people, because from application to award, I think it was like 8 months or so. I think maybe. From what I understand, that was extremely fast. That was like, you know, warp speed Mr. Crusher. That was an extremely fast award. And like I say, your disability, it isn't a sob story. You don't read a narrative sob story about all this shit. All the medical coding, it's medical coding, it's classifications, and I did a whole thing on that a while back, but so it would be a medical coding thing. Anyway, you surrender your disability, you're going to find yourself, you know, fuck, there's absolutely no guarantee that I would be fast-tracked back to collecting my stipend. You could find yourself, I could find myself on the street with zero income, okay, for the next couple of years. You know, when I got my disability award, the back payment, the lump sum back payment, I remember the Social Security Administration official They wrote down my mount that I was going to be getting, and then they wrote down underneath it how much the attorney would be collecting if an attorney was involved. They didn't know if an attorney had did my application work. The application work was done by Jewish Family Services, of all people. Believe me, every single time I get paid, there is a stinging barb, and it's, without going off into a whole thing, it really is a fucked up thing because, like I said, Jewish Family Services, they came so very close to being the hero of the story, but they ended up turning into the fucking villain. I swear to God, all Aaron Bowes had to do was just simply say, "I'm sorry, Amir, we can't really do anything for you," and that would have been it. She didn't have to sit there and... I'm moving on. This is... Hold on, I need a break. I know it's off topic, but I'm not going to be able to get to my other topics anyway. I just want to talk about something else for a minute here because I'm really upset. Fuel. I did some telephoning around looking for our clean strip. And like I told you guys, the stuff sells out incredibly fast. I was able to secure 5 drums at Tractor Supply in Sicklerville, New Jersey, and they quoted me a price of $30 per drum. I was like, holy smokes, $30 a drum? But it comes at a terrible price. What you're looking at is sulfur. Look at how filthy the heater got using the inferior grade fuel. Now, don't get me wrong. Crown, I would definitely use it in your winter storm emergency. But, I mean, really. Just, it really dirties up the heater really bad. Any port in a storm, I definitely use it. The point. Big shout out to Tractor Supply for being a retailer of integrity. Apparently, before you guys start grabbing your car keys and dashing out the door, I was misquoted. The young girl who quoted me, she misread or whatever it was. It's not $30 a 5-gallon drum. It's $39.99. So I got my drums for about $10 less per drum. And to show you what kind of, because they demonstrated such integrity to me, because I was there with my buddy who gave me a lift out to Sicklerville, because it was like, I knew I was going to be buying, enough fuel to last me until, next pay period, get it all at once. And that would have been a bit much for the trailer. And anyway, so we get out to Sicklerville, the Tractor Supply. Everybody was so very nice out there. And so we go to ring it up, and she's like, okay, $200 and whatever it was. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I was like, I called, and they quoted me $30 a drum. She, just like that, oh, okay, doot, doot, doot. No argument, no grief. Didn't have to get all kinds of management involved. I was treated fairly, equally. They upheld their word. Definitely the kind of business that makes America great. And to show what kind of person I am, because they had 6 drums. I picked up 5. This is when I was thinking that it's $30. And You know, because but I mean, I'm $30 a drum. You know, I was like, six. You know, you still got a penny pinch. You know, um, so when I realized that they had misquoted, and I knew that one drum was left there on the shelf, I was tempted to tell her, okay, just ring up one more and run and go get it, but I did not. Um, I didn't do that. I didn't take advantage of them. They didn't take advantage of me, so I didn't take advantage of them. And so that one drum could stay behind and be sold at its proper retail value. Anyway, what time have I got? 30. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't going to make it to the other topics. All right, so there you go, guys. YouTube. I guess I have to save it for the other. Did you guys see what Trump did? Kim says that he didn't kill Ottawan, so Otto Warmbier. So if he says it, then I believe it. Putin, MBS, and now Kim Jong-un. All these fucking dictators you believe over your own intelligence. That's it. I'm done. All right, guys. There you go. It's a brand new day. I got stuff to do. I'll be uploading this later on. And what can I say? Walmart, Juggernaut, they don't care. Once they know they've got you by the short and curlies, they understand. What are you going to do? Protest? Well, if you need any signs and magic markers, we know where you got them. Come on in, we'll sell them to you cheap. Yeah, Walmart's fucked up like that. Total Control, 871.